Hello everyone, my name is Paula Gila and this is for Syntax and Teaching Grammar with the topic Analyzing the use of the four tests for phrases, ellipses, substitution, transposition, and coordination. The first one is transposition. It is the process where parts of the speech change their sequence when they are translated. It is, in a sense, a shift of word class. Transposition is often used between English and Spanish because of the preferred position of the verb in the sentence. English often has the verb near the beginning of a sentence. Spanish can have it closer to the end. So here we see some examples. And the first example is when the transposition that we use is mainly dependent on the content and particularly on the desired effect. The course is of interest to all of us. So the correct way is the course interest of all us. I will never forget the time when I saw you in the village. When only a transposition is acceptable, thus it is absolutely necessary in a particular context. I will never forget the time that I saw you in the village. I will never forget the time when I got lost in the market. When the transposition use depends mostly on context and desired effect. I will never forget the time that I got lost in the market. The next one is substitution. Substitution is one of the tests to prove that a string word behaves as a phrase. In grammar, substitution refers to the replacement of a word or phrase with a filler word such as want, so, or do. Some examples of this. The young man visited her mother. So the correct way is he visited her. We put the book on the desk. The correct way, we put the books there. The children stopped at the corner. The children stopped there. I never saw a purple cow. I never hope to see one. Mom is coming to the coat store tomorrow. So Mom is coming here tomorrow. It is very important to understand that transposition means replacing one word class with another without changing the meaning of the message. The third test is ellipsis. Ellipsis is to leave out words instead of repeating them. There are some sentences in English that consist of a complete clause plus an incomplete clause joined by the conjunction and. This type of somewhat incomplete clause is known as elliptical sentence. Taking out of context, elliptical sentences are meaningless and could not stand alone as full sentences. But when elliptical sentences are conjoined with full sentences, they are meaningful and commonly used in ordinary speech. Basically, are the words that don't need to be spoken. Ellipses are two phrases that are joined by the words and, but, and or, and they are repeating words and they're not necessary in English. Some examples. He bought tickets, but he didn't go. Here's where we see we don't need the word he because it's repeated twice. So we have repeating words, so with this sentence we don't need to repeat them. We only need to say once because it's understood what is being said, so there's no need to repeat what's already been said. He bought tickets and didn't go. She loved the original and she loved the sequel. In here example we see that we don't need to include this extra repeating she loved. We don't need that. It is not necessary. She loved the original and the sequel. She said she'd call but she didn't call. We have she twice and the word she, and also have call repeated. The word that are gonna to remove is call, and now the word she is it's a contraction. It could be two things. It could be she would or she had. These contractions serve for both. So the correct way is she said she called, but she didn't. I hope my phone works, but I don't. I think it will. Now in this example is like the ones before. We need to remove the word work. I hope my phone works, but I don't think it will. You can watch this movie or you can watch music videos. And this example is the same. The correct way is you can watch this movie or music videos. The last test is coordination, and the linguistic phenomenon of coordination is defined as a grammatical linking of two or more words, phrases, or clauses belonging to the same category in order to give the structure's join equal prominence. Coordination is a very flexible mechanism of syntax that allows that any given two or more lexical, phrasal, or clausal categories to be conjoined. Thus, coordination results from the use of the coordinating conjunctions and, but, or, the correlative conjunctions both, and, either, or neither, not, but, not only, but also, and the conjunctive adverbs, however, nevertheless, therefore, moreover, even, thought, etc. The linguistic phenomenon of coordination is possible only if we state that sentences are structured into sets of constituents. Coordination uses coordinating conjunctions, whereas ellipses do not use extra words. In fact, omit some repeated elements. Then it's convenient to mention that there are two reasons for omitting words. One is to avoid repetition, the other is to emphasize the words that remain. Coordination is a very common linguistic phenomenon in sentence structure, which refers to placing together two or more elements that have exactly the same syntactic function. I spent my entire paycheck last week. So in the first example, this sentence contains two separate ideas that may or may not be related. I am staying home this week because I spent my paycheck. Or is it there another reason for my lack of enthusiasm to leave the house? To indicate a relationship between the two ideas, we can use the coordination conjunction so. I spent my entire paycheck last week, so I am staying home this weekend. For the second example, Sarah wants to take part in the next Olympics. She trains every day. Since these sentences contain two equal and related ideas, they may be choosing a conjunctive adverb. Now, we have Sarah wants to take part in the next Olympics. Therefore, she trains every day. Notice that the conjunctive adverb comes after a semicolon that separates the two clauses, and it's followed by a comma. And the third example, Monica stopped to help the injured man. She will be late for work. To illustrate that these two ideas are related, we can rewrite them as a single sentence using the subordinating conjunction even thought. Even thought Monica will be late for work, she stopped to help the injured man. It's the same in the next examples. Buying a new car is expensive. By staying home, I will save money. We can replace, we can add, buying a new car is expensive, so by staying home, I will save money. These test phrases are important for the development in foreign language learning because it helps to sound and talk properly and more fluid like the native speakers. With this test, we can reproduce more easily the target language. So that's it. Thank you.